Welcome to today's explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to share this one with you, mostly because it completely flips the script on what it actually takes to succeed in the markets. We are taking a deep dive into the wildly fascinating world of trading psychology. Most people think that becoming consistently profitable is all about adding things, right? Like adding new strategies, learning more indicators, or just digesting endless streams of data. But what if I told you the exact opposite is true? Consistent trading success isn't about adding strategies to your arsenal at all. It's actually about undergoing a complete psychological reconstruction.
It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? But really think about it. You come into this profession with your intelligence, your work ethic, your determination, all the exact things that made you successful in everyday life. But here's the catch. The very survival instincts that kept our ancestors alive, that deep-seated need to seek certainty and avoid pain, they will actively destroy you in the markets. Your natural, out-of-the-box psychological operating system just wasn't built for the pure, unfiltered uncertainty of trading.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap. We'll start with the psychological problem, then move through Stage 1, surrendering certainty, Stage 2, relinquishing control, Stage 3, embracing loss, and finally, 4 steps to trading freedom. These stages are totally sequential, so you can't skip ahead. Now, the market isn't cruel, but man, is it brutally honest. And that honesty provides literally the most expensive education you will ever receive. To become profitable, the market forces you through these 3 specific deaths, or demolitions really, to systematically strip away your ego. You move from the beginner phase, where you experience the death of certainty, to the intermediate phase, where you drop the illusion of control, and finally to the advanced phase, where your fear of loss is just completely extinguished. Section 1. The psychological reconstruction problem. Let's look at why early success can actually be a massive trap. We often think that early success in the market is this great blessing, but in reality, early success without a solid psychological foundation can actually become a suffocating prison. Let me share this incredible story from the source material about a trader named David. David had a very strange problem. For his first 40 trades, he literally could not lose. He went 40 for 40. Everyone thought he was a total prodigy. But deep down, David was terrified. Why? Because he didn't actually know why he was winning. He just stumbled into a lucky, beautiful trend. Then came trade 41. It looked exactly like the others, but it lost. Just a clean stop out. Well, David's identity completely fractured on that 41st trade because he hadn't learned how to lose. By trade 50, he had given back absolutely everything. He didn't fail because his strategy broke. He failed because his identity was built on an illusion. And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict happening inside your head right now. Our survival brain is entirely hardwired for cause and effect. You study for a test, you pass. You touch fire, you get burnt. It actively avoids danger. But the market isn't cause and effect. The market is purely a distribution of probabilities across time. To succeed, you have to consciously build a trader brain, an operating system that fully accepts probability and just completely embraces uncertainty. Which takes us right into Section 2, Stage 1, surrendering certainty. This is where so many traders get stuck for years. The market's absolute first job is to violently and repeatedly destroy your deeply held belief that preparation guarantees a specific outcome. I love this quote from the analysis. There was a trader who kept a beautiful, color-coded journal, but noticed his high-confidence trades, the ones he was absolutely certain about, failed the most. Why is that? Well, because if a chart pattern is so clear and so obvious that you are absolutely certain of it, everyone else sees it too. And if everyone sees the same thing, there's no one left to push the price in that direction. Markets move on disagreement, not agreement. That high level of clarity is often just a complete illusion. Think of it like holding an 8-ounce glass of water. For a minute, it's light, no big deal. But hold it for an hour, and your arm is in absolute agony. The strategy, the 8 ounces, hasn't changed at all. The weight that's breaking you is how tightly you're gripping it, your exhausting need to know what happens next. Contrast that with a casino. A casino doesn't sweat the next spin of the roulette wheel. They don't need certainty on one spin because they trust the math, the statistical probability over thousands of spins. That is the exact lightness you need to achieve.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 3, Stage 2, relinquishing control.
Once you accept that you can't know what the market will do, you face your second demolition, realizing that trying to micromanage your trades is actually just an act of fear. I'm going to deliver some tough love here, just like our source material does. You probably tell yourself you know you can't control the market, but if you're adjusting stops mid-trade or pulling profits early, you're still operating under the illusion of control. The harsh reality?
You control exactly three things: your entry, your exit plan, and your position size. That is it. Once you define those three parameters, everything else you do while that trade is live is just noise pretending to be control.
Think about the stories we tell ourselves here. You move your stop loss further away, and the story you tell is, oh, I'm just giving it room, I'm avoiding risk. Right? Or you take profit way too early, telling yourself, hey, I'm securing a win, profit is profit. But the reality? You are literally just trading your fear and completely abandoning your statistical edge. The beautiful paradox of stage 2 is that you only truly gain control over your own consistency by radically giving up control over the market's outcome.
Now for section 4, stage 3, embracing loss, the ultimate demolition.
This is the most heartbreaking stage, and honestly, it's the filter that separates the 5% of traders who make it from the 95% who don't. This is about truly, viscerally extinguishing the fear of loss. So the crucial point is this: you have to stop interpreting a loss as a rejection. A red trade is not a referendum on your intelligence, your worth, or your ability to succeed in life. A loss is simply the market saying, not this time. That's it. It's literally just data telling you how your edge performs under a very specific set of market conditions. And that brings us to the ultimate goal: neutrality. There's this brilliant anecdote in the source about a struggling trader who suddenly realized he wasn't actually afraid of losing money. He could totally afford the financial risk. What he was really afraid of was the story he told himself about feeling stupid if he was wrong. Neutrality is the absolute cure for this. It's the freedom to execute your next trade without carrying any emotional baggage from the last one. It's checking a loss exactly like you check the weather. Oh, it's cloudy today. Okay, moving on.
Section 5, 4 steps to trading freedom. Let's get extremely practical.
So how do we actually get there? Because understanding this intellectually just isn't enough. We have to do the work. Let's transition from the theory into highly practical, actionable steps you can apply today. The sources give us a super concrete roadmap to move through these demolitions consciously, rather than just suffering through them blindly. We've got 4 steps: naming your stage, reframing a loss, practicing the pause, and setting an identity-free goal. For steps 1 and 2, you gotta pull up that trading journal, look at your last 10 trades, and honestly identify which of the 3 stages you're in. Are you stuck in analysis paralysis, desperately needing certainty? Are you micromanaging, trying to maintain control? Figure it out. Then pull up your worst recent loss. But here's the catch: don't write about what strategy you should have used. Write down the psychological armor it exposed. Fill in the blank. This loss taught me that I'm afraid of looking stupid. Or, this loss taught me I'm still trying to control outcomes. Name it to tame it. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it ties in to steps 3 and 4. Step 3 is the 5-second pause. Right before you click buy, just ask yourself, am I trading my edge, or am I just trying to make back yesterday's loss? And step 4 is the ultimate challenge, the identity-free goal. For your next 20 trades, do not look at your profit and loss. Do not calculate your win rate. The only score that matters is flawless execution. Did you follow your plan? If yes, mark it down and move on. You are training yourself to be a clean, neutral executive, ignoring the money entirely. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to encourage you. The pain of these 3 demolitions, losing your certainty, your control, and your fear, it isn't about destroying who you are. You aren't losing yourself. Actually, it's quite the opposite. You're simply shedding the heavy, clunky armor of your illusions. You built that armor to feel safe, sure, but you can't move freely in it. By finally letting it go, you are liberated to become lighter, faster, and incredibly fluid in the markets. And that leaves us with this final, powerful question to ponder as you step up to your next trade. Are you ready to stop fighting the market, surrender those illusions, and step into the consistently profitable trader waiting on the other side? I challenge you to look inward today. In fact, drop a comment below and let us know, with total honesty, which stage are you currently in? Acknowledging where you are is literally the very first step to true freedom. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.